It is the Riot.
Oh, yawn and stretch. Get a stretch in.
Big one, right?
Yeah, there it is.
I was going to hold on the stretch, but okay.
There it is.
It's fine. Hey, today in the podcast, we talk about, Attack on Titan. I'm just going to lead with that.
We talk about it and the reopening of Universal Studios in Japan.
Yes. So we talk about trash science and typo blood. A woman that's been to the floor and the ceiling, or the Marianas Trench and space. However you want to look at it. We also hear about Nikki taking her island online.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
More Animal Crossing.
How hard it is to accept help.
In Animal Crossing or just in life? No. In life.
Remember circling the drain?
Oh, that's right.
But now we're in the tubes. And somebody saves an RX-7. Hashtag not my Keanu. Keanu. I can't.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it's fine. So I'm out. That's all I got.
Okay, enjoy the podcast today. If you want to, don't forget to check out RadioU.com/5K. We're having our first ever virtual RadioU 5K. That helps, fund RadioU, which helps fund the Riot. So if you join with us and you can get your race shirt and medals while those still last, check out RadioU.com/5K and consider joining us.
All right.
Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on Radio U.
I feel like we should probably just go ahead and jump right into it, Nikki. There is an internet rumor that is floating around that you're now on Nintendo Online and welcoming people to your island.
I am. We're just going all in. I wanted to try it out, and a lot of people wanted to hang out and play. So for Nintendo Switch Online, you can now join me on my Animal Crossing island if you'd like, or I can come over to yours.
Wow.
If you want to invite me over.
So did you have visitors?
I did, and I went to a couple of islands just to say hey to people. It was just so weird because I looked online first. I was like, what's the proper protocol when going to someone else's island?
Right, because
so
it's a whole
like,
thing.
Yeah, like you don't go walk through the flowers. You don't go take everything. But you guys were so cute and gave me a couple of gifts. So I took it back to my island.
So what kind of gifts did you get?
I got a surfboard. I got an ice cream cone, light
Those are nice.
thing. Yeah, it was just
nice.
some stuff for the house.
Most importantly, were you allowed to pick some fruit so you could have new trees on your island?
I did, yes. I got to do that. So you guys were really cute. It was just fun. It was just another layer of Animal Crossing.
So peaches are your main fruit, but what did you end up planting?
I took some palm trees, so I got some coconuts, and then I took some other like pine type trees. So we're just growing. My island's still brand new. I only started on Friday with Animal Crossing, so we're new. And some of your stuff is so ornate. I should have gotten in during quarantine time. I could have had it all. I just could have had it all.
No, because you worked the whole time.
I was working, but still, I should have.
Yeah.
I should have started early.
Other people weren't working, so that would have helped you still.
All I know is that next time when whatever the next Animal Crossing will be, do not let me wait on it, because this is a thing now.
Yeah, and the next time we do quarantine, you're totally doing it.
So if you want to be friends for Switch Online, you can join me. I put my friend code on our Radio U Riot Facebook page.
Okay. So that gives y'all something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's just, again, a different layer of the game I hadn't tried over the weekend, so it was neat to do that.
Yeah. And be friends with Nikki. She's got peaches and
Well, let me know also
coconut.
what I can take of yours. So what can I have from all your guys' way better things that you've got all set up?
This is your chance to game with a celebrity. Now, Nikki, this means that you need to try to go next level. So you need to try to visit Danny Trejo or Elijah Wood or something like that and go to their islands.
Yeah, you can just pick up codes of people online to go to places too. So
all right. Well,
it's been fun.
Seeing that, it frustrates me a little bit because gaming's supposed to be like my thing.
Oh, and now is it my thing?
It's your thing now.
Uh-oh.
And
you have all the other games. Don't worry.
I know. I tried finding a game that I could, make my game now, and
we'll find something.
I just couldn't find anything I cared about enough. So it was like, you know what? It's fine. Nikki's the gamer now.
No. It's a team effort. I couldn't have done Friday. We did an after show where we started to set up my Animal Crossing. Could not have done it without you.
It was. I mean, I played a part, too.
You did.
I did something.
You absolutely did. So that was a team effort.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
I don't know if you get excited when you see things like this. I like to think that anytime we create something, we want to see it succeed. We want to see it stand out. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if this is the kind of standing out that the people at Netflix were looking for when they put together The Last Days of American Crime.
What is that?
That is a movie. It's either on Netflix now or it's about to be. And I'm actually not sure which one it is. I'm embarrassed to tell you that I thought the premise sounded interesting in the way that The Purge sounded interesting. You're just like, I don't know if I want to watch the movie, but that's an interesting idea. So in this movie, they supposedly have come up with something that they're going to emit this pulse at a certain time on a certain day, and it's going to eliminate any criminal desire. Like, no one's going to want to commit crimes anymore. Like,
this is over?
Right. But there's this group of people that are like, all right, before that happens, we're going to pull off one of the biggest heists ever.
So it looks like it came out on the 5th, so it's out.
Okay, so it's out.
Yeah.
All right. It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, how do you do that? Wow, it must be bad.
There is not a single person.
Positive thing to say about it?
No one has reviewed this movie.
Oh, that's funny.
Positively.
Now, I know you're tempted, but we're seriously saying there's bad, but then there's like, this is just like bad. You don't want to watch those bads. You want to watch the other ones where it's like, oh, this is so bad, but still funny.
See, Nikki, this is the kind of bad that I kind of want to see.
No, they say you do not want to see it. They mean it. And I know it's tempting, but they actually mean it this time.
I know what they're saying,
et cetera,
et cetera.
The infamous 0% rating.
I'm telling you right now that the more you tell me that I don't want to see it.
No, they mean it. They are 100% telling you the truth. Do not watch it.
I know, but you know?
No, nope, they mean it.
Like what? But how bad?
No, it's bad. It's that bad. It's more bad than you think.
Is it?
They say is it based on a graphic novel? Yeah, I think so. And then it looks like it was just poorly executed. They say movie was absolutely terrible, poorly written. Everything's bad. Just bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, good. All right, good.
I'm just telling you.
Just again, reminder, don't watch it.
I think we need to watch it.
I don't think we need to. No, we've fallen for a few of those, and then within the first 5 minutes, you're like, "That is bad," and we turn it off. There's bad, and then this is bad.
I know, and that's what I'm thinking. Maybe just 5 minutes.
No, I think it'll be too much.
You know what? In fairness, I only watch good stuff for 5 minutes anyway.
So don't watch really bad stuff for longer.
It's the same. What are we saying? It's all the same.
Nope. This is worse, it seems like.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
I don't know what kind of stuff you're thinking about this morning, but you know what's something that I've been thinking about? You know what I hate more than anything? It's like a combination of things, but I think we're circling the same drain here.
Sure.
I hate looking like I don't know what I'm doing. So the idea of me tipping if I don't know something and I tip my hand that I don't know, I hate that. I'd rather run off, be like, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, quietly learn about it.
Read about it on Google and then come back and be like, where were we? Now, in 1897.
You're like, wow, he really knows his stuff, doesn't he?
But I am in the middle of a project where I'm helping some people with something that is in reality. It's a sound system. And there is I hate this. There's this assumption about me that because I work in radio, well, I know how it all works. He works in radio. He knows how it all works. And I just want you to know that I do work in radio, but I'm the driver. Okay? And
not the mechanic.
Right. And so there's this assumption that as the driver, you know everything about how the car works, right? Well, do you know everything about how your car works? The answer is no. So I've reached a point where, as the driver, I can definitely change the oil. okay? But replacing the water pump is admittedly a little beyond me. So I've been watching a lot of videos on the water pump and the this, that, and the other.
All the sound system stuff, you mean?
Yes, it's the metaphor. So all of this stuff. And so now I ordered some equipment from a friend of mine, and he's like, everything seemed fine. And then I texted him back with one more question, and many questions have been exchanged. And then he finally says to me, do you want me to just come out there? And I was like, oh.
That's where we've landed. They're just going to come and help you. And don't be afraid to accept the help.
I am. I'm going to. I have to. That's what I keep telling myself is, listen.
It's easier for everybody.
Just let him come and help you. Just accept the help. Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
As embarrassing as it is.
Buy some lunch.
You don't know what you're doing.
It'll be so much easier on you.
That's what I'm doing. I was like, that's great. If you come out, I'll buy you lunch.
All right. And that's why, just like if you knew something and someone else was in the same position, you would just help back.
Well, see, that's what's dumb is, do you think that I care to help people?
I would.
No, that's what I'm saying is like, I wouldn't. If you needed help with something I knew how to do, I'd be like, yeah.
Anytime.
I'll be right there. You don't have to buy me lunch, but I will eat it. I'll eat it. You know, like
this is just a case where you don't know.
I would just do it.
You need someone's help.
I'm in that position now, and I'm like, I don't need any help. I can do it between me and YouTube. We can get this done. But I've encountered someone that knows the truth, and they have seen through my facade, and they're just like, oh, no.
Or maybe no one else has.
No, you fooled the rest of them, but not me.
Yeah. Aww.
I know what's going on.
Well, that's a relief. It's good to have people around you that know different parts of what we're doing.
And I'm just like, no, don't come out. Don't come out. I even told him, I was like, when you see some of what you're going to see.
You can't say anything about it.
Shh.
Just know I've tried my best.
I did my best.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got someone coming. That's a relief.
I kind of am. I'm getting over it.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about right now. This is my therapy session. I'm getting over it.
Getting it out about being over it.
I'm getting over it.
And accepting help no matter how it comes to you.
I need the help. Mm-hmm. I really do.
Are we all learning a lesson with this?
Oh, yeah. We're circling that drain.
We are.
It's time to do. It's time to just go down the drain. Just go straight in. See how fun it is in the pipes?
We're in the drain.
What's worse than the worst of the Riot? The worst of the Riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
Did you see the one about the former NASA astronaut that is now the first woman to reach the Earth's deepest point?
What is she doing?
She's breaking all the records.
Does she have to? Because it seems like it's a bit much.
Her name is Kathy Sullivan.
She must be amazing.
She's the first woman to complete a spacewalk.
Yeah.
So
was she the first woman or the first woman from the United States?
First American woman.
First American woman.
Oh, Nikki, drawing some lines.
Oh, just saying. You got to give credit.
You know what? I don't even know who is the first actual woman then. I just read it as woman because as far as I'm concerned, Americans are the only real people. Can I get an amen on that? Americans are the real people. Americans. Come on. Or not. I just
love
didn't.
That side of you, you know? Absolutely love that side of you. And as we're getting closer to 4th of July, it slips out more often.
I know, you feel it. Man, the spirit of George Washington is in the room, people.
Oh, let it out.
Can I get a Yankee Doodle? Come on.
I don't want to continue.
Okay, we'll stop there. So she hit what we believe to be the deepest part of the ocean, at least so far. Challenger Deep. It is inside the Mariana Trench, and it is a sickle-shaped depression lying about 1,100 miles east of the Philippines. Wow.
So what did she do?
She just went down there. 6.9 miles beneath the surface of the ocean.
I'd be getting a little nervous.
And I'm telling you, like, she accidentally moved a rock.
Ooh.
And when she moved that rock, something got out.
I saw your note. Yeah, it's totally this horrible movie called Megalodon.
No. The Meg.
The Meg. Well, I'm sure the Megalodon was probably somewhat similar.
Isn't
it about a Megalodon, though? The Meg was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but wasn't that the thing that in the Meg, they were in the Marianas Trench, and they're like, oh, we don't think the floor is the floor. We think it's actually just a layer. Underneath it will be all this stuff. And that's what they did. They go beneath the layer.
And then they had a little robot thing that went out. And, then there's more stuff there.
And then Jason Statham has to get involved. And he does.
I mean, of course.
He does.
That's just what he does.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that must have been something, though. So she's been to space and she's been down to the bottom of the ocean.
That's amazing. Like, this lady has got to have greater range than any living person right now.
She seems motivated and more motivated than we'll probably ever be.
That's awesome. So, or you know what? And it reminds me of, and I'm not trying to take away from the accomplishment. It's super cool. Like, I'm amazed by it, but you know, all of this blends into science fiction for me. So it's like she's Captain Kirk, but then she's also that guy from Sequest DSV at the same time.
Oh, geez. That's what we thought.
She's doing both, man.
She's doing both shows.
She's doing both.
So what do you do next then?
I don't know.
You've been in space, you've been in the ocean. What's next?
I assume she's going to start traveling across dimensions, kind of like in Ant-Man.
Maybe.
Or something like that, probably.
All right, well, I don't know if that's a possibility.
The quantum realm.
Does she go, is she going to go into the desert or something and do something there?
She needs to break some speed records. That's what she could do in the desert.
That's a good one.
Or, maybe none of those things.
Maybe she finds a show she likes and she stays home and it changes her life and she can't stop and get away from all the things in her queue.
Maybe she becomes fascinated with the idea of something get a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
She wants to watch it.
And as soon as she comes back to the surface, she's like, you know what? What do you mean they found a way to stop all crime?
No, she needs to watch this show, listen to this show, and then we'll give her a lot of options of some other things that she could be doing that aren't nearly as record-breaking.
Maybe that's why.
But still fun.
Maybe that's why she went down there. She's trying to get away from this show.
To get away from all that.
I went into space. They were there.
Good for her. What was her name again?
Her name is Kathy Sullivan.
She was an astronaut?
Astronaut?
Well, always an astronaut.
Right.
And a deep-sea person.
She's been all the way down.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
Here's a piece of scientific kind of garbage news that you're going to be so glad I shared with you.
Well, I can't wait when you introduce it that way.
According to
I want to hear scientific garbage.
23andMe, they are a company where you can have some genetic testing done. Go for it. Get it. They've released a COVID-19 study, and they're just telling us all kinds of things. Like, for example, if you have type O blood, you're between 9 and 18% less likely to test positive for the coronavirus.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Who here remembers what their blood type is? Are we supposed to remember? You do?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think I do.
My blood type is O.
Oh, for Obi?
Yep, that's right.
Yours worked out well.
Oh. We planned it.
It's like, it is a blood miracle.
Wow. My parents were like, all right, there's only one way this is happening.
So what is his blood type? All right, go with Obadiah.
Yeah, I've got O. I don't remember if it's positive or negative, though. And you know what? You can just stay away from me with the Lancet because I'm not interested.
I don't care. I don't want to find out.
Unless I need blood, in which case my blood's probably all over the place, so just get some of that.
I'm sure you can call your doctor and ask. Probably.
They probably know somewhere. So, that means that since I am 8 to 20, 26%, I don't even understand their statistics, like 13 to 26% less likely to test positive. And that's right after when they say 9 to 18% less likely.
I don't like how they're wording it. Less likely to test positive for
that might not even mean you don't have it.
Well, no, does that just mean that the test is wrong and you're just not testing right? Or?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could just be that the test doesn't work on you.
Yeah, it doesn't work well with your blood type.
Well, you know what?
I don't feel like they're saying that you're less likely to have it.
Do you remember how this started? I said it was scientific garbage news.
It feels like it. They're just trying to...
It's where they took like one piece of info and wrote a whole article about it.
Now, I know we don't really like conspiracy theory things, but if you look into all the, so what was the company? The
23andMe.
All of those ones where you take the swab, you find out all your stuff, you send it in. It really is truly like, they're just making a database on everybody and they sell all that info.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not into it.
Send them your DNA, and so that way they can get us all prepared for when the aliens come.
So they know everything about you.
It's like, oh, you don't want him. He's O-blood. Throw him in the pile.
They'll know everything.
That's right. It's where we're headed, Nikki.
Forget it.
You're out?
I'm out.
Okay.
Plus, those things are expensive.
We should, that'd be fun. Why don't you and me get our DNA tested and find out?
We just said we're not going to.
They can tell us all the things we're going to die of way before it happens.
I'd rather be surprised. I don't want to know anything.
Nah.
I don't want to know any of that stuff.
Come on, let's do it.
Never mind.
Be like, Nikki, this is very rare.
I don't want to know.
There is so much excruciating pain in your future. Oh, God. Now, that'd be $249.
Please send it on in. No, thank you.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Melissa Etheridge, Coheed and Cambria, Kiss, Kesha, Obadiah.
What do these have in common?
Well, they've all got cruises planned in 2021.
Oh, the bands are doing cruises. Oh, no.
Gets worse.
What happened?
They actually had cruises planned for the fall of 2020.
Sure. So you could go and cruise and see your favorite band, or
I guess
just a band. It's they're just trying to still connect with their fans, I guess.
Yes.
So they're rescheduled for next year?
Yeah.
And Obi's going on his first ever cruise in January.
I know. And so that's my concern is if they're postponing their cruises.
You're just like Kiss.
I am. I'm Gene Simmons. I have a tongue that's 400 feet long.
I don't know anything else about them.
That's all I know about them, too.
Are you still as excited to go on your cruise, or are you just not sure?
Well, it's been 48 hours since I told you.
Yeah. Any changes in feelings? Sometimes, how long do they say it can take for you to come down? No, you come down from your buyer's high of just the fact that you're going to go on vacation.
They say the vacation high lasts a week.
Yeah, okay.
1 week. So how long is the high from booking a vacation?
Don't know.
It's not going to be more than a week. I'm sure that's true.
I just want to know, you tell me when the moment that you're just not so sure anymore hits you.
Well, I'll tell you what. It was right here when I found out that Kesha was having to postpone hers. And I was like, oh, my gosh.
What is going to happen? But theirs will be around, probably in the new year.
Do you think that the guys in Kiss are just how did it come to this?
Oh, I bet they make so much money, and you're getting a vacation.
And they don't. I know, but okay.
And you're treated like you're on a boat full of people that are there just to see you.
That sounds awful.
No, not to them.
Do you think? Okay, you want to go to the pool, and
everybody. I don't think you go to the pool often on a cruise.
But whatever. You do something.
I know you can't have a break.
Do something.
Yeah, I'm sure they're taken care of. There's Kiss time at the pool where
think so?
It's from 5 to 6, and then they block it off, and you can just enjoy yourself.
Maybe.
Again, you're getting paid so much money, and you get all these free vacations.
That's true, but you know what? To me, and I could be getting this way wrong, and I apologize to all the bands in the world for hating me, but I feel like doing a cruise is like playing the fair.
Yes,
that's what it feels like.
It's a floating fair.
It's a floating fair. It feels like you are one step away from maybe not even the state fair, might be the county fair.
But you're going on a cruise?
It's different. I'm not performing. I'm just there to eat. As far as I'm concerned,
he's got this soda thing where it's all you can drink soda.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a floating buffet. And I can't get those anywhere else now. So I got to go to international waters to go to a buffet.
To still have a buffet.
And that's fine.
All right. Well, everybody else, though, still doing a cruise. Just been postponed to next year.
Fantastic. Great.
I can't wait for you to go. I just want to know how it is.
You want it to be miserable.
No, I don't. I just want it to be... I want there to be some stories.
What if I didn't come back with any stories? And I was like, I went to the cruise. I ate. I came home.
No, will you be left? Are you going to be one of those people when they miss the time to get back on the boat and they're running to the boat and everybody's saying goodbye to them as the boat goes away?
Well, I'm going with some friends and they have a whole thing where it's we can't go down there the day of the cruise. You have to go down the day before because they don't want the airline to make them miss their
No, when you go and travel the islands
I know what
too.
You're saying.
Yeah, you get back on.
They have a whole thing and I'm just running their playbook. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're jumping onto their trip.
I wouldn't even have booked a cruise if they weren't like, hey, you should come. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Let's do it.
It wasn't any of the bands you mentioned was not enough to get you to go on a cruise. Just friends.
Hey, I love this radio station and the bands we play. We don't play a single band that would be enough to make me be like, I want to get on the Archer's Rise cruise. And no offense to Archer's Rise, but I don't want to go. In fact, like, I don't want to go on the Star Trek cruise, the Keanu Reeves cruise.
But you're going on a cruise, though.
I'm not going for those reasons. I told you, I'm going on the buffet cruise.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
This really is a great story. The Biloxi Golden Nugget Casino. We've all been there, right?
Is that in Vegas?
It's actually in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Oh, is it? Okay, then we've not been there.
No, I haven't. So they've been facing Tropical Storm Cristobal. And in this garage at the casino were some very expensive cars. And there was a guy named Austin that saw a Mazda RX-7 in there. And he saw that it was about to get flooded. And he said that it was his dream car and he couldn't let it happen. So he does not know the owner. He doesn't know any. He got in his truck, drove to Home Depot, and got some cinder blocks, got a jack, and jacked the car up and put it on cinder blocks.
So it'd be above the water?
To make sure that it was above the water and it didn't get damaged.
Boy, the owner of this car is really lucky someone was such a fan who happened to be around at that time. Because who would do that?
Who does that?
Good thing for him.
Here's what I love about it. And this is what I thought. Like, I'm not making this up. I recently in Forza Horizon 4, the video game I like to play, got an RX-7. This story got out because he posted it on a Forza Horizon 4 forum, and then it started to make the rounds.
Oh, so people found out what he had done?
So the people at The Drive, which is a motoring blog, they saw it and they have confirmed it. And it gets better. The people that owned, there was it a BMW or was it a Ferrari? They showed up, got their Ferrari out, and then eventually got the RX-7 out, though there was a BMW that nobody knows what happened to it.
Oh, no, not the BMW.
A 7 Series.
Oh, no.
That's the expensive one.
Lost in the water. Well, okay. So it was a casino? They were just storing the cars there?
I don't know. Maybe you have a nice car and you drive on down to the Biloxi.
Maybe you would park it there.
Do casino time.
Or it could be a storage thing, like if you're one of the owners or something.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, very nice of the guy. No word on all the normal cars, though. No one was able to save those.
No, nobody cares about.
No one cared about those.
About your mid-90s Civic. Nobody cares.
It's sad to say our cars had all just floated away.
There it goes. Right on down the river.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I am always amazed when I see stories in the news like this, trying to imagine, like, what would I encounter? Is there an object that I prize so much that even though it's not mine, if I saw that it was going to be damaged, I would take steps to make sure that object was not damaged.
Safe. Only if it was our car or if there was someone in it would I do something.
Well,
but
right,
then outside of that, no, I can't think of a thing.
I think in general, most of us, if we saw another human being in danger, like you would probably... I would say there's a high percentage of us, very high, that would jump in and get involved.
Or if it was your car and you needed to get it up.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
Outside of that, no, I don't think so.
This is not... You might do it for a friend's car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what? Oh, my gosh, Nikki's car is getting... No, I got to do something. I got to help Nikki's car. And I would do that. This is not based on... He doesn't know the people that own it, whatever. It's just that his reverence of the car
is
was so
big.
high.
Wow.
He couldn't stand to have the car get hurt. That's amazing.
Well, I can't think of anything we would do the same thing with.
I can't either. Does that make us bad?
No, it just means we're not people? Car people. Not at all.
I know,
we're
okay,
just that's not our thing.
I know, but for you, would it be like, I saw somebody's iPhone 11 was about to get...
No, mine would be like, it's a box of puppies. I'd be that sort of person.
But they're alive, at least. Okay?
But they need help.
Right. But what I'm saying, like, there's life there. This is a lifeless object.
Yeah, like if the Apple Store was about ready to go, I would go in and help.
Whatever, I'd be like...
Because then maybe they would just float you one, because literally the things would be floating. They'd float you a MacBook or something. I'd
just be like, hey, look, can we just admit this store's a loss? I'm taking some of this stuff and getting out of here.
I'll try to dry it out. Just let me have something.
I mean, it's going to be an insurance claim anyway.
So maybe that would get us moving.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, I've been thinking about this. I don't know whether to keep it generic or if I just want to, just tell you the whole thing. I sometimes don't like when I tell the whole thing because afterwards I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't said all that. But I'll just go ahead and tell you. Why not? We're all in the room together.
Let's just throw it all out there.
Just get it out there. Here on the show, I've talked a lot about my mental health. It continues to be a struggle. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's fine and sometimes it's not. I have had people even recently kind of say to me like, hey, could you not, like, it's almost like, hey, you're a Christian, so how, like, when you don't tell people that God snapped his fingers and everything was better, it's not a good look for us.
Oh, yeah.
So could you not do that?
Someone said that?
No, they didn't say it like that. I mean, I'm
sure.
Of course paraphrasing, but like when you dig down.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's really what they were saying. And I'll just tell you, it's funny. Yesterday, the last week, I've really been having a hard time, and it doesn't make any sense. It's dumb because I mean, if you came and spent some time with me, it'd be like, what's the problem? Like, you got all the food you need. Like, life is good. You got a job you like. Like, you got to talk all day. It's so hard. How do you make it? Oh gosh, I get that. In fact, that it's infuriating if you want to know the truth. Like, I get so mad about the struggle sometimes to just handle day-to-day life that it infuriates me how easy I have it and how hard it is sometimes to do the easy things that I have to do in life. And yesterday I asked you guys, like, hey, recommend some music to me. And somebody sent me off listening to Marty from Social Club Misfits.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the end of the album, YouTube Red just kept playing other music from the genre. And so I ended up on a Trip Lee album. And in that album, on that particular song, I think it's called Sweet Dreams. I can't remember exactly, but he talks about the fact that, hey, I've been sick for 7 years. Like, I'm dealing with something. And I think he has chronic fatigue syndrome or something, but he's an artist we play on Fusion. And in the song, he basically just talks about, you know what? I don't know why I'm not done with this yet. It's very frustrating. I get tired of doing it, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, yes, this guy gets it. And as I'm thinking about it, here's what I want you to know. And I've been thinking about this a lot, is that sometimes I do get frustrated. It's like, God, why are we still here? Like, you and I have gone on a journey together, but we haven't even passed go yet. Like, I'm still trying to get to Baltic. It's like the first property on the Monopoly board, okay? Can we please just get moving? But we're still here. And it just comes down to, and I know, how come God hasn't fixed the obvious thing? And I think we could look all around the world and be like, God, how come you haven't fixed the this? How come you haven't fixed the that? How come you haven't fixed my problem? How come you haven't fixed his problem or her problem or whatever? I don't know the answer to that. I do know that Jesus says the day is coming that he's going to show back up in the flesh, and there are some things that are wrong that he's just going to straight up make right no matter what. Now, in the meantime, why isn't it right now? I don't know, but I do know this. The choice I have is I can face my difficulty with or without Jesus. That's the choice I have. Which one do I want? Do I want to do it alone? Or do I want to do it with God's help? And I've got to tell you, I can't, if it's tough with Jesus, I'm never going to make it on my own. I can't. And so I don't know why things are the way they are for me or the way they are for you. But I think it comes down to, we can do it alone or we can do it with help. Which way do we want to do it? I'm sticking with help. You don't have to do today by yourself. You just don't. You can say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit, and I need some help to do what I got to do. And you know what? God will help you. He helps me. It is not always easy, but he helps me.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So I heard rumors yesterday of something floating around the Radio U studios, which was hashtag not my Keanu. Keanu?
Not my Keanu. That's not mine.
Is it true?
Well, so yesterday trending was Bill and Ted 3.
Yes.
So it's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then there was like a second one.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
And then this is the third one, however many years later. Was that in the 80s?
Probably Bill and Ted's. Let's give the Bogus Journey. That was the sequel. What year did that come out?
The first one was 89.
And the sequel was 91.
91. So those are pretty old movies. And I don't think that started Keanu Reeves' career. Like, do we say it started it? Or was that like the Matrix stuff? Or what was that?
I would say yes. Because you've got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I think he did Speed.
Oh, that's right.
Speed came out in 1990. Okay, speed disambiguation. That's what we're going to need.
Is that what we're looking up?
Well, I'm looking for the, let's see, Speed. 1994 was when that came out. So he did both of these Bill and Ted movies and then did Speed. And Speed, I feel like, is what probably, like, really put him on the map.
Okay, we'll go with that.
And then The Matrix was what, 98 or 99? I don't know why. Why do I know?
Why do you know these things?
I don't know. But like then, he did those and it seemed like he kind of disappeared, did a bunch of romantic comedies, and then John Wick.
Then John Wick happened.
And that's when Nikki fell in love with him and everything changed.
I love him in John Wick. And then when I watched the trailer yesterday, I realized I think I only love him in John Wick stuff.
What about the what's the time travel one? The Lake House?
No.
Cabin on the Lake?
No. This just made him look older. Like, it made him look real.
Nikki, he's older. He's like almost 60.
I know. He might be more than that. I don't know. I have no idea. I only like Keanu Reeves now when he's in a suit and he has guns, and that's it.
So
I guess maybe The Matrix counts with that, depending.
He's 56.
Yeah.
Man. He looks better at 56 than I did at 16. Like,
it's a different style character, and I think I'm sure I saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure probably sometime. I know it's streamed somewhere, but I feel like I know that that's the style it's supposed to be. But watching it was like, wow, what's wrong, Keanu? What's wrong? But that's the style that it's supposed to be played.
Well, it's the character.
That's the character. I only like John Wick. I only like that character.
I was surprised. I've seen both the Bill and Ted's movies multiple times. And I was surprised at just how well he just fell right back into that.
Both of them, yeah.
Watching it, I'm like, oh, yeah. There it is.
So this was filmed a bit ago because I think it was supposed to come out this year. It was supposed to come out this summer.
It still is. Well, it's coming out in August.
Is it? But it was supposed to come out earlier, but it got pushed because of the COVID stuff.
Probably one of the best things that could have happened to this movie because theaters are going to be practically empty of content.
You're right. Yeah.
And this movie's going to come out and people are going to be like, you know what? I'll do anything. Just let me go to the movies.
I'll go see it. Yes.
Because all of the other, with the exception of that Christopher Nolan movie. Tenet. Okay. Aside from that, there really isn't a lot of movies coming out. They've all been bumped back into late September, October, November, just in time for the second wave.
Well, maybe then everybody will see this, but I just wasn't as excited. I didn't see the Keanu that I'm used to now.
No, I get that. I did think their idea was an interesting one because if you watch it, the whole premise of these Bill and Ted's movies is that they are two guys that write a song that changes the world. Like that their music becomes the cure to society's ills. And I love the idea that they're like old and they haven't done it yet.
So they go to the future to try to steal it from themselves.
I'll have to say, like in a thing where I looked at it, I'm like, where do you go with this? That's a pretty good idea.
That works. Stephanie just texted, said, I agree with Nikki. When I saw the trailer yesterday, I thought, wow, what's wrong with Keanu? That's how I felt.
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him?
He's broken or something.
I know. Even his hair doesn't look the same. Like, it's just not. It's fine, though. It's all fine. We'll take any movie at this point. Just let us go see a movie in the movie theater.
I don't know. I'm sure, watching it, I was just like, yeah, I'm in. This and Tenet. That's something. I'll go back. So, I mean, if Tenet was the high water mark of what I'd go back for, it just shows you that there's also a much lower level.
And Bill and Ted 3 fit right there nicely.
I was willing to go back for.
The Riot has now been downloaded. Hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I just want you to know the John Wick Keanu discussion has continued off air.
As it should. I mean, we have a long show today.
Nikki is deeply bothered by what she saw yesterday.
No, not necessarily, but I was just telling Obi, I hope Keanu Reeves in real life is more like John Wick and less like the Bill and Ted character. I just need him to be.
Which one do you think he's like?
Maybe he's in between. He's supposed to be the sweetest guy, so maybe he's just right in the middle.
Maybe he's more like Neo in The Matrix.
I need to rewatch those. I don't remember anything about him.
Well, the thing is like in those movies, he's not really. There's not much there, and I don't need. Like the character's kind of flat.
Sure.
Like John Wick.
Well, yeah.
The character's kind of flat.
It's supposed to be flat so that the rest shines. So that the story and the guns and the explosions and stuff.
So maybe the problem is when you see Keanu emoting like he does with Bill and Ted, you're like, wait a minute.
Just all off. Don't know.
Aren't you only supposed to shoot people over the dog? But like other than that, you're good?
That was emotional. All right. So.
Well, he was expressing his emotions in a different way.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's still just the thoughts. If you have any thoughts on it, if you go to RadioU on our Facebook page, I think Sydney posted yesterday the trailer for Bill and Ted 3.
She did, and that's where I found out.
You can put your comments there.
That's where I found out that you were unhappy. That it was not your Keanu.
It's not mine.
It's not mine.
No, and you could use that hashtag if anybody wants to.
You know, Nikki, they say in relationships, committed relationships, one of the difficult things is that when you get in that relationship, that's when you begin to really see people for who they are versus who you think they are.
Maybe I should say then hashtag not my John Wick.
Because the reality of it is that if you're going to love Keanu, you're going to have to love all of him and not just this one little part of him.
Yeah, not this movie.
You're gonna have to accept him for everything that he is, and not just don't stop objectifying Keanu. Nikki.
Oh, is that it?
He's a person.
He's a person.
All right.
He has feelings.
He does, and he's expressing them.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here, obviously. This is the Riot on RadioU.
Man. Oh, these people have designed the office of the future where, there's going to be so many diseases flying around that we're going to have to be so careful. So it is called the Q Workantine. And
that's clever.
Have you seen it, Nikki?
No, I just pulled it up. I'm looking at it now.
It's these, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. Imagine a cubicle, but you go in and shut a clear glass door.
It looks like a giant washing machine with a lid that pops up, and do you get in from the top?
you can open that so you can have some fresh air.
Oh gosh, this is a bit stifling.
So it's essentially like, hey, you can poke some holes in the top of your box. It's fine.
And yeah, it's like a pod. You just get in and sit in your pod.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Do you remember did you see Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Okay, where they shoved people in those little cubicles and made them do the virtual reality work all day?
A little bit more modern than that, but, on the outside. But basically, that's all it is.
I mean, it looks like one of those things where you go in there, and then your manager/supervisor locks you in. And then if you want to go to the bathroom or anything, you hit a button and they come over and there's a timer that lets you.
No, you're lying about that part.
No, we're one step from that.
Okay, but it's not actually. Once you're inside, you're completely sealed off, and ventilation fans with built-in air purifiers are activated, so you have a continuous flow of clean air.
I would rather work at home. Than this. This looks like it
looks like a prison.
It is such a dystopian society looking item. Now, if it was the airport or something and I was renting that space, totally different. But the idea that every day I go to work to get in my ISO cube. No.
Well, they say, though, that with the skylight, you won't feel cut off from the world around you.
Yes, you do!
And each pod is its own separate structure, so you can, assign them and move them wherever you want to. And if you like the core Q work team, then it takes about the same space as an actual desk would, just to, built around it.
Except it's, part of a nightmare future.
And then you get so officials are also saying, and this is just based on these work pods, but they're saying that, to really truly make a clean work environment, if you go back to work and you stay there, that they recommend, coffee pots, water coolers, all the snacks and stuff and drinks they should not have in like a break room setting. And you should only have prepackaged items that are completely non-opened.
Okay. This is the hard part to take, is that there's no such thing as a clean work environment. There are levels of clean, but there is no such thing as a completely clean environment. It doesn't exist. That's why, take a look at what a clean room actually is and the steps that are necessary
to make it happen
for a clean room. And even then, they're going to talk about parts per million. So, it's not that simple. But I'm not getting into the ISO cube. Forget it. Like, if you guys need me...
So that's a no from Obi.
There isn't a darn thing that I couldn't do at home in that cube. And I get it. I really don't like working from home. I like working from home like a little.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We like going home early.
Yeah.
But not like having to do it all there.
I'll do half my day here and half my day at home. That's fine.
Perfect.
But I don't want to spend half my day in a little room where there's like padding on the walls and there's only like one, maybe two little windows to the outside and the door closes. And if I want people to hear me, I have to lean into a microphone to talk. I don't want to live like that.
Well, I'm going to close that out, and I don't think we were looking at that for here at RadioU, but that's just a prototype and design for possible workplaces in the future.
Nikki, I just described the studio.
Oh.
We're in an ISO cube right now.
Oh, all right, you can leave it. It's fine. It's not at all like the pod.
I have to go to the bathroom now. I didn't, but as soon as I felt like I couldn't, I immediately have to go. I have to go for a walk right now.
This is the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Nikki, I was just in the break room and I got myself some coffee and I found these prepackaged snacks and I was wondering if you could help me identify them.
Yeah, what's that?
What is that?
What is it?
It looks like a Nutty Bar.
Like a Nutter Butter?
But it's like white chocolate and then it has like green on it.
Is it maybe like an organic version of a Nutter Butter?
I'm a little afraid of it.
Or a Nutty, whatever those are.
Here's where it gets even weirder for me.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's one.
Okay, one. What do you think this looks like?
Well, these feel like organic snack cakes.
Just look at it. What do you see?
Not a ding dong.
It looks like a little. To me, I see Little Debbie
those
brownie
fudge ones, the fudge brownies.
Yep.
Yes.
You get the
right.
Little Debbie kind of water. But now let's turn it over.
It's got a llama on it. Is
it blue?
It's a teal.
Is that blue? It's a teal?
I think it's a teal.
I don't believe teal is a naturally occurring color for food.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't think so.
It's possible.
So do you think that this is a Little Debbie brownie?
No, I think it's an alternate brand, perhaps gluten-free.
It smells from the outside like putting my nose on the container, which is probably the opposite of what we should be doing.
I think that's against our rules. See, look at what happened there.
I think I'm getting a cold.
No. Just try one. Eat one.
Well, what if you tried this one?
I don't want to. I want you to. Do it. Try the llama brownie. Where do the llama brownies come from?
Why is there a llama on this, what appears to be brownie? And I just wonder, how old is it?
Well, those just started appearing. They can't be that old.
Appearing?
Yeah. Well, I don't
apparated.
know where they came from.
We don't know where from.
I have no idea.
It smells like a Little Debbie brownie.
It does?
Yeah.
But does it taste, is it cacao nibs instead of milk chocolate? Or is it a dark chocolate? Because you can have dark chocolate, but just not others.
I find it very weird.
Yeah.
That there's a a teal llama on it.
Oh, it's got like a layer. It's kind of like an icing on top.
It tastes all right.
Tastes fine? Well, look, then now you're having a brownie. What a bonus today.
I really shouldn't be eating a brownie right now. That's
not. You want to try the other one?
No.
Well, I really want to know, is the other one like the...
Well, you're going to have to figure it out.
No, I don't want it.
Well, then that's how I feel about it. Like, I don't want it. I just wanted to bring it in. It's
just throw it. Someone else eat it. Where are all these things coming from in our break room? And can we leave the boxes so we know what it is?
Well, you know what? I don't know if you've noticed, but as far as our break room's concerned, there's a real... Like, people like to get rid of the boxes.
Yeah.
We don't like packaging around here.
They just throw them in there.
Which is hilarious because if you came to my house, I keep the box for, like, everything I ever buy.
I just want to know what it is. That would be nice.
Well, it's a llama brownie.
Pretty good.
Has anyone seen this? Jonathan says some ducks have teal and those are food. Okay. All right, okay.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Nikki, Universal Studios Japan is now open.
Oh, they are?
They are.
They've been closed for a while.
They have, but only...
Oh, that's fascinating.
If you live in that prefecture.
So not to like tourists and stuff.
Not, right, but also not to, like, in Japan, a prefecture is kind of like our state.
City. Well, yeah.
Isn't it? Is it a city or a state?
That's a good question. I always thought it was like the cities.
More of the city? Okay. Like the metro area?
Yeah,
okay,
so this would be for what's considered the Osaka residents.
So basically, if you live in the area, you can go, but nobody else can go.
Now, if you lived around a theme park, is that like, do you go always? You know, do you get what I'm saying? Where
I don't know.
Sometimes the closer you live to something, the less likely you are to actually go to it. Because it's more for tourism.
You know, I have a friend of mine that lives near Kings Island, an amusement park just north of Cincinnati, Ohio. And he gets a season pass every year.
Yeah.
And he says, and I never even, like, this had never occurred to me. Like, he actually does two things. He gets the season pass and the food pass. And he was like, yeah, I go over there for lunch
and
dinner all the time.
Well, I guess I just don't. I haven't been to Universal Studios. I've only been to the one in California, and I haven't been there in a long, long time. To me, it feels like you go there once and that was it.
I agree with that.
Not like Disney or other theme parks.
I had a blast at Universal Orlando when I went.
Was that fun?
That was like a couple years ago. I thought it was really cool.
So they're showing the report. It seems to be a lot of school students, too.
Now, what is it? What's the other thing about it? Is that, as I understand it, I think it's brand new. Their Attack on Titan ride is now open. And so it's what they call a VR roller coaster. And which in some ways you're like, well, that's lame. I can do that in my living room. No, you actually get on a roller coaster, but there are virtual reality segments to it so that it looks like you're flying around. If you've ever watched Attack on Titan, which is an anime series that is seemingly
Not
available
for everybody,
everywhere.
But, it's a thing.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It's a bit intense.
I'll tell you what. Attack on Titan bothered me. Like, something about those big, dumb-looking people just coming to eat you.
It's
nightmare fuel.
It's a lot.
But it's
done well. I mean, obviously, it's a brand.
Very, very well. What do they call those things that they were? The Survey Corps, and they have like those things that shoot out and they fly around. So it's like you're one of those guys or girls, people. And I think it looks awesome. I would totally do that.
But you can't because you're not from Osaka. So you'll have to wait till Universal Studios in Japan opens back up for more people. That's just basically like in our area, all the theme parks that are opening up is mostly by reservation only. Right. So you have to make sure that there's not too many people going into the park. So you really have to plan what day you want to go and to make sure that your reservation's been accepted. This is just keeping the crowd down. So they're going to start especially learning the new COVID response stuff to it to make sure they can handle bigger crowds.
I'll tell you, one of the coolest parts about going to Disney World was just getting to wander through some of the gift shops because some of the merch is incredible. Same thing here.
You'd want to go for that?
The Attack on Titan merch that they have surrounding the ride, it's awesome.
Maybe they wouldn't let you in to ride, but you could at least go to the gift shop. Like there's an outside door to it.
I just want to spend some money on some crap that I'm just going to...
You see that coffee mug? I want that one.
Nikki knows me.
That's what you want.
That's what I want. I want the coffee mug, okay?
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
The long national nightmare is beginning to come to an end. I'm, of course, talking about the beef supply shortage at Wendy's.
I only saw it a couple of times where I think they would keep you from getting, like, on the menu, it'd show if you wanted to get, like, 3 patties or something. Or if you wanted to add extra, you couldn't do it at that time. But they never
you
really
still get a double?
Yeah, or, like, they never really kept everything beef-wise off. It was just limited.
I never ran into the beef shortage. The one day we talked about it, I really did go get a hamburger.
You were worried. But that was also when, like, there's still shortage of certain types of beef or chicken at certain times, depending on where you shop at.
Yeah. So they had said that about, at least according to this article, they're saying that nearly 1 in 5 Wendy's restaurants ran out of beef.
Mm-hmm. Completely, or?
Their words, not mine. So they say there was about 1,000 of Wendy's 5,500 restaurants that were not serving beef there for a while. But they said that they have almost closed the gap and that you pretty much can get a burger at a Wendy's.
And that was mostly because they had closed down the... What's the word for the plants? The beef plants?
Sure.
You know, the factories where the beef comes from.
No, really, it comes from a beef plant.
No, not like that one. But, you know, the building where the unfortunate event happens, that's where they would close down and stuff. So they had problems with production.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're probably back on track. But they say that by the time they get to mid-June should be...
Completely fine?
Should be fine.
Well, it just depends on the area you were at then.
Yeah. And speaking of Wendy's, I went to a QP this weekend. Now, that's only in Lima, Ohio. Nikki, you should...
Is it hamburgers? We ate there the one time, didn't we? Or did we just drive past it?
I don't think you and I have. But I'll just tell you... Oh, yeah, we drove past it. Yeah. We didn't eat there. But I'll just tell you this right now. You should look up the history behind QP and Wendy's.
Oh, is there a...
Oh, it's scandalous.
Is there a feud?
Dave Thomas worked at QP.
Oh, and they're saying that that's where maybe it came from.
As long as you go through the drive-through, QP's a great place. But you go in and see their creepy naked baby doll.
Oh, it's older style inside.
Devil dolls, they are. I don't like it in there.
Well, okay, so we'll just drive through.
I really don't like it. But the burger was really good.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
I just love the idea of a marriage mostly being built on a mutual respect for Shia LaBeouf.